Hello arcade gamers, this is Daniel. I want to welcome you back to my channel. I'm going to do another chill and chat today. I've got some exciting arcade 1-up news. Also another red alert sale I had covered earlier this week. It is still going on, so I wanted to highlight that again in the video for anyone that may have missed it. And then also I've got some exciting speculation on a possible new product that could be hitting the market soon. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I want to start today with some speculation, and I don't want anyone to get confused in that this is actually happening or I have any inside information on this actually coming to fruition, because it really is just speculation. It's just me thinking about what could be happening in the far off future and just kind of gauging the arcade at home market as a whole. So this will just be kind of more for fun and just to kind of think of some ideas and just, what could be happening or maybe what possibly might come in the future. So let's not get it confused. It really is just for fun and just to talk about today, okay? But Valve, they are the maker and developer of Steam products. They've had a lot of ups and downs over the years, and they've made a lot of games. They've made a game library called Steam. And then most recently in the last 10 or so years, they've been making products. So I remember Valve mainly from the Half-Life games. I don't know if anyone has played that on their computer, but there's a Half-Life game. There's a Half-Life 2 game. They've also made Team Fortress. They've made Portal. And they've made even a new Half-Life game for the VR headsets. And these are a lot of fun. They're what I really remember, because I used to play Half-Life as a teenager on my computer. I remember them being really advanced games for their time. A lot of fun. First-person shooter you can play with your keyboard and mouse, which gave you a lot of control. But then after they had made those games, they made what was called the Steam platform, which was a collection or library of video games from all different developers, in which they could put their games on that system to sell and to market their games to the rest of the game players out there on the computer. There's been other companies now that have kind of copied that idea, and they've been successful as well, such as Origin and Epic and let's see, I've got GOG, I've got Rockstar. So a lot of the other developers had followed Steam in that idea, and they've created their own game libraries as well. And it's been really successful for them. They've recently, within about the last probably 7 or so years, started creating products as well. They wanted to get into the product type business as well. One of them started in 2015, and it was called the Steam Controller. And it was designed not only for games that were developed for controllers, but also for games that traditionally were played with a keyboard and mouse. This allowed you to play these video games just like you would with your PlayStation or your Xbox. And they had a lot of competition with those companies, and they really weren't that successful. So you probably have not even seen this controller or even got an opportunity to play on it, because it wasn't around for very long and it wasn't incredibly successful. However, Steam has this year released what's called the Steam Deck. This, however, has been extremely successful. It is a handheld gaming computer developed by Valve, and it was released on February 25th, 2022. In the Steam Deck, it's played as a handheld. However, you are playing your PC games. So it has a processor, it has a graphics card just like your computer would have, and you're able to play modern PC games on your handheld. So it's been a lot of competition this year for, say, the Switch. And it's actually got better graphics and a better game library than the Switch would have. And then any of the games from the past, 20 or so years on the Steam library are also able to be played, which gives this a lot of replay value, and it makes it a big seller. I mean, people are just clamoring to get their hands on one of these. And really, Steam did not anticipate the demand for this portable game console, and they've actually experienced a lot of supply shortages because of that. So buyers are now on a wait list. You will have to go on the Steam.com website and reserve an opportunity to purchase one of these consoles. And they're about 3 to 4 months out. You can get one that is $399. You can get one that I believe is $529, and one that is over $600. And these are going to be in 64 gigabyte, 256 gigabyte, or a 512 gigabyte handheld console. The 256 and the 512 gigabytes are actually a faster storage device, which will decrease load times. So majority of the people, I believe, that are reserving these are reserving the 256 and the 512, which starts at $529. So with these being such big sellers and them being so successful in the handheld market, it really got my brain thinking, and it got me really starting to speculate on what's next. What is next after the Steam Deck? They've continued to develop the Steam Deck. They're adding new features, new updates as we speak. The game library is increasing. We've seen Sony even bring over God of War. They brought over Spider-Man. I believe other developers such as Xbox, Microsoft are probably going to start developing games for the Steam library now. It just is making sense to bring your games to Steam, because everyone is going to end up purchasing a Steam Deck in the near future. These are just extremely popular, and there's really no stopping them. So now I've started thinking, what is Valve cooking up in the meeting rooms? What's going to be their next product after the Steam Deck? And you know what I thought of is, why not a Steam Arcade? I mean, we've got the Arcade 1-Up. We've got the iiRcade. We have the At Games Ultimate Legend. So we've got these 3/4 scale or bigger arcades in our living rooms or our game rooms that we're spending hundreds of dollars on, possibly even $1,000 on if you talk about the iiRcade Gold. So Steam really has a place in this market. They really could develop what would be called the SteamCade or something similar. And this is just a little mock-up I developed today, or I designed today, just to kind of give everyone an idea of what this could possibly look like in the near future. You know, it would have the Steam library, access to all these games, 2 decades plus of games. And it would be extremely successful. Everyone that's in the multi-cade market, whether it be the iiRcade or the At Games, would be extremely interested in one of these. Even your Arcade 1-Up buyers out there that really enjoy playing their Arcade 1-Ups, they probably have a large Steam library on their computer like me, and they would be willing to spend the $1,000 or possibly less or more for a SteamCade, because not only are you getting the arcade itself, the actual wood, the screen, the controls, the marquee, you're getting the access to your library in a arcade form. So I really could see this possibly coming to fruition. I have no evidence of this. I have no knowledge or inside leaks of this actually happening. But I do believe this could be a real possibility here in the near future. And I just wanted to share that with the rest of the YouTube community, because I feel like the more I talk about it, the more that others continue to talk about it, it would feed the developers and the decision makers at Steam to possibly create something such as this. So let's get the conversation going. Let's start talking about it. Let's give them a reason to create something like this. So I'm going to go ahead and next move on here to our NFL Blitz news. So NFL Blitz is pre-order on the Arcade 1-Up website. You can pre-order it on the Walmart website. You possibly may be able to pre-order it on Best Buy now, but it has not shipped. It will not be shipping until the end of next month. So that last week of September is going to be about the time that these are going to start shipping to people's homes if you pre-ordered. However, there is someone out there in the online community named Game Room Theater who did receive their review unit. If you got an opportunity tonight, you could have tuned in to Kongs or Us. He had him on his live stream this evening, and he was showing gameplay of the new 49-way joystick and the audio, the exclusion of, or I guess I should say the restriction from the NFL of late hits. However, I did see some exciting news. I saw that now you're going to still be able to jump at the player. You're still going to be able to make a jump after the play. However, you're not going to be able to hit the player with that jump. But it's still an incredible game. It looks like a ton of fun. And let's take a look at some of the images of the cabinet in his home. So here it is. This is the front of the NFL Blitz. The 4-player deck, slanted 4-player deck. The 4 coin slots in those 2 coin doors. A beautiful, bright 17-inch screen. A big, beautiful new marquee that says Blitz on it. You got your NFL Blitz logo there on the riser. He did say in Kongs RS live stream that he's really enjoying these 49-way sticks, that they create more of a bounce. They're a little heavier than even the most recent release of the Street Fighter arcade, sitting right to the right of it. He's noticed a noticeable difference in the 2 different sticks, and he's really enjoyed playing with them. So that is exciting news. We got to see here in another screenshot or a picture here of the left side with Deion Sanders and the Cowboys sitting there right up at the top on the left side and the NFL logo. Let's look here at the right side. You can see Jerry Rice right there up at the top next to the NFL logo. So this is really exciting. We're not only getting the images coming in on the Reddit site, we're actually getting gameplay footage on Kongs R Us's channel today. So I predict we'll probably get a review very soon of this cabinet, a professional review with a high quality camera and audio, hopefully, so we can really gauge how great of a cabinet this is going to be. But just what I saw right before my chillin' chat this evening, I was very excited to see it, and nothing but good things so far coming from this. So just wanted to share those images, let you guys know. If you guys want to check him out, he is on Instagram, he is on YouTube, and his name is, let's see, Game Room Theater. So Game Room Theater, all one word. Check him out on Instagram or YouTube. He's going to have quite a bit of footage here over the next month of this NFL Blitz cabinet. He also mentioned there's another YouTube channel out there that has their hands on the review cabinet as well. So I've not yet heard who that is, but if you guys know, go ahead and put in the comment section for everyone else who that second person is, so we can share that information as well. But right now, Game Room Theater has his review cabinet, and he is now showing everyone what it looks like and how it plays. So I'm really looking forward to getting more footage of this cabinet. Let's get here into the KI Pro news. So KI Pro was a cabinet that was initially released or going to be released by Arcade 1-Up later this year. They announced it earlier this year and showed us these images of the KI Pro. It's got a stool with a backrest. It's got this what's called a fatigue pad right under your feet. And it's a much bigger cabinet. It's got high quality audio, supposedly. It's got a really big bright marquee. It's going to stand taller than all the rest of the arcades before it. It's really not going to be a 3/4 scale. It's going to be a much larger cabinet, much more in line with a real arcade. And it's going to have a 19-inch screen. It's going to be something that people were really excited about. However, we've been seeing this week that Arcade 1-Up removed the KI Pro completely from their website. And the reason I think this is that they have made the decision that they're going to focus their attention of the rest of 2022 on their KI 3/4 scale. They kind of did it a disservice early on, because even before the 3/4 scale KI was released, they had released these images and allowed people to kind of see what the KI Pro was going to be before the actual release of the 3/4 scale. So a lot of people canceled the pre-orders of the 3/4 scale, or they made that decision that they just weren't going to purchase a 3/4, that they wanted this Pro cabinet. And that really did a disservice to it, the release of the 3/4 scale. The Pro cabinet, I think what they're going to do is they're still going to release it. It's just not going to be a 2022 release like John D really wanted. It's going to end up being a release sometime in 2023, maybe mid-end 2023, so they can focus their attention on the 3/4 scale cells, get their inventory supply sold, and then they're going to bring the KI Pro back to the website, offer pre-orders, and give us an initial release date. So I think that's where we're at with KI Pro, if you had any questions on it. So I did release earlier this week a red alert on the Street Fighter Big Blue cabinet, and it came with a stool. It's on the Walmart.com website, and I just wanted to highlight it again today because it is still $3.99. You're still getting free shipping, 90-day return policy, and a free stool. So this is an incredible deal. If you have not bought the Big Blue, this is a great opportunity to get it. My worry is if I don't, for instance, myself, pull the trigger very soon at this $3.99, it could sell out and we may not see it again. Could be like the Star Wars cabinet where we just don't get an opportunity to buy it anymore. And I just don't really want to miss out on it. I'm probably going to end up pulling the trigger very soon and getting this one. And I wanted to just let everyone know it's still going on. So if you want to buy it, go ahead and get it. Walmart.com, $399 with a stool. Another thing I wanted to kind of cover here in our chill and chat today was the Double Dragon iiRcade. I don't know if anyone on my channel watches 19K Fox, but definitely go check him out. He's a primarily, like me, he's an arcade one-up enthusiast. Majority or all of his arcades have been arcade one-up products. And he recently posted just yesterday a review of his Double Dragon iiRcade. This is his first iiRcade. It's his actual first arcade, I believe, outside of Arcade 1-Up. So it was interesting to me because I'm very similar to that. I just own iiRcades, as you can, or I just own Arcade 1-Up, as you can see. But I've been very interested lately in getting an iiRcade. I've seen there's a large YouTube community out there, one being Papa Brad and many others that do live streams, and they have a lot of fun with these arcades. And they are extremely pricey though. I mean, this is what we call the gold edition, and it's an $1,000 arcade, $999. So it's not cheap. It's not anything to really, not think about it. You really got to put some thought into something that's going to cost you $1,000. It's not like you're spending $500. So I was very interested in his show yesterday. I really wanted to see what he had to say about this one because I knew it'd be a non-biased opinion from a mainly arcade one-up enthusiast, and that is something that I really wanted to tune into and listen. He had some really good information on it. He showed the assembly process. He showed the packaging, how it came to his house. And then he showed the online store and some actual gameplay of it. And some things that really stuck out to me were, if you get the gold edition, you're gonna and you get the Double Dragon, which is the one I'd be most interested in also, you have to put the decals on yourself. So that's something to think about. It also does not really have a large game library. It does not have your big hitting big titles like Street Fighter or Marvel vs. Capcom or Mortal Kombat or any of your sports games like NBA Jam or NFL Blitz. It's just not going to have those titles. So it makes me a little reluctant to get one of these because you're spending big money and you're not really getting big titles. So that worries me a little bit. But if you do get a chance to check his out, he valued this cabinet at about $600. So they are extremely overvalued right now at $1,000. I definitely will have to agree with that. My interest would probably be in the Gen 1. There is a Gen 1 cabinet that has a WrestleMania look to it called Retromania. And those go for $599 at Best Buy. However, I heard some comments. One specifically, Mike of All Trades, said that they go down to about $450 on a regular basis. And that's probably my sweet spot. That's probably where I'm going to purchase this arcade, is at the $450 mark at Best Buy. And it'll be that Retromania Gen 1, which does not have the big marquee. It's not as tall, but it's more in line with a price that I would pay for a cabinet such as this. So I am still interested in getting it. I am still interested in purchasing an iiRcade, but I'm going to have to wait until the right deal comes around, and I'm probably not going to get the gold. The gold is too overvalued right now at $1,000, and I don't predict it going to be going down to $600 anytime soon. So definitely not going to probably be getting the gold, but the Gen 1 I probably will, and it'll just be when the right deal comes around. Another thing I just wanted to cover here to close out the Chillin' Chat today was the Michael Jackson's Moonwalker gameplay. If you guys have not seen this, I dropped this video yesterday. It's got about 150 views already, not reviews, views. And it's got several comments on it already. I'm really happy with the response to it. But if you haven't gotten a chance to play Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, or you haven't got a chance to see what it's about, definitely check out my video after this so you can see it. And if you've got any comments on gameplay you want to see in the future, put that in there at the bottom and make those comments. I'll make sure to include those games here coming up, because I definitely want to make sure my gameplay is in line with what's of most interest to the rest of the community. So I hope you guys have a good rest of the weekend. I hope you guys enjoy 19K Fox's live stream this evening. And if you guys have anything at all, just leave them in the comments this evening after the video so I can respond there. Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.